Here. What's up, boys and girls? Happy Saturday. February 25th, 2023, man. I hope you guys are doing all right, vibing out, having a good start to your weekend. I guess technically it's the middle part. I don't know. How'd you guys do last night? Last night was weird. A lot of blowouts, and then it got crazy. I mean, cray when the Kings and Clippers faced off. I opened my app. I thought it was like a glitch. I thought it was like showing the All-Star game score. 176 to 175? Huh? Basketball's dead. No, man. Crazy. Just a crazy game. Crazy output from that game. Nuts. No other way. What up, Squeak? What up, Ducking? Conscious? Vic? Daniel? Jake? Pojen? Jordan? Yeah. What up, Jordan? Night Hammer was bananas. Bananas, bro. Just crazy with it. King of the Mountain last night. De'Aaron Fox, 77 and a quarter. 42 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. He had 5 steals. Wow. Kawhi Leonard, number 2, 44 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 5 stocks. LaMelo Ball, 63. 40 minutes of action for him, so who cares if Kelly Oubre is back? 32, 10, and 8. Paul George, 60 fantasy points, 34, 10, and 5. And I mean, how often pre-flop are you ever getting to Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, the same lineup? Last night it was optimal. It's crazy. Julius Randle, 58 fantasy points last night. Gordon Hayward, 58 fantasy points. Malik Monk, 58 fantasy points. I mean, what are we doing? De'Aaron Fox had 42 real points. Malik Monk had 45 real points. Same team. Like, I mean, how often has that ever happened in history? You always hear about top 1 percentile outcome. What the heck was that? Klay Thompson, 57 fantasy points, 42 points. I mean, how many 40-point games were like? Jesus. Trae Young, 54. Anthony Edwards, 54. I mean, all these plebs with the 40s. We did have Westbrook assists. He had 14 of them. So 5 or 6 assists, whatever the line was when we were on it. Yeah, we got that. It's just crazy. Like, it was just crazy. I don't need to go much further down the list. Andrew with sub. Thank you. What's up, Caleb? Going, what up, bro? I was curious. Would you rather go back to the time of Sumerians? Or would you rather go forward to a post-apocalyptic wasteland? All right, well, Sumerian. I had to Google this. I don't know what the F that is. Sumer is the earliest known civilization in the historical region of southern Mesopotamia, which is south-central Iraq, emerging during the Chalcolithic and early. All right, so basically the start of mankind or the end of mankind. Probably the start, because people were smaller back then, right? I would probably just be like, I don't know, Shaq to them. But it would be really boring. But I guess there'd be nobody. I don't know. Do I get a dog? Can I am legend it? I don't know. Is there a Twinkie factory? I don't know, man. That one's it's the same thing. What's up, J. Cole? Jermaine. Cole. Young Simba. Mr. Nice Watch. Man, this ain't even me, dog. That's what happens when Westbrook plays defense. Well, he doesn't. Stop it. What's up, King? What up, Absolute? That game murdered all my lineups. I mean, it was crazy. Like, I had stopped watching basketball for the night. I was playing Fortnite. Like I said, I opened the box thing. I literally thought it was the All-Star game, like, score glitched. I was like, huh, this ain't. And I was like, what? Like, eyes pop out of my head. Hayward or Mathurin on FanDuel. Gary Harris sleeper. Let's keep an eye on a couple of those guys on back-to-backs. I know Hayward will play, but maybe. I don't know. We'll go game by game. What up, Helms? LaMelo about to go crazy. I can see that. What up, Steven? That's what I'm here for. I do like some of those. I like those hypotheticals. That one, How you guys doing though? Are you guys doing all right? That's good. That's good. I'm assuming all of you guys just nodded and said, "I'm all right." You ever ask a chat room how they're doing and they say, "I'm all right"? I'm here to tell you that chat room is not all right. That chat room has seen things and is battling demons. This stream brought to you by RunDFS.com. That's a place where we don't just play DFS, we run DFS. If you guys want to get behind the paywall, get access to the premium spreadsheets that I nurture, cultivate, and update through Lock, go to RunDFS.com. Get you one. Every membership coming with a voucher, Fantasy Cruncher voucher. You should probably get the All-Star one. That one's going to lock you into the baseball All-Star break in July. It comes with $100 towards Fantasy Cruncher. That basically covers like a month of their really, really big package. Giggity. And baseball's right around the corner, man. Spring training. Up and at 'em. Jason Dominguez with a bomb today. Gleyber Torres with a bomb today. Yeah, World Baseball Classic coming up. We got NASCAR tonight, tomorrow. We got trucks tonight. Regular tomorrow. It's a beautiful time. Just a beautiful time. Think Love plays, and yes, do you play him on FanDuel? If yes. I don't know if he plays, but like he was available for back-to-backs in Cleveland, right? So I don't know. Love is probable. Yeah. What's up, Ayo? I can deal with pre-internet. I don't know about pre-soap. Dude, could you imagine if you like knowing what you know now, either like technology be darned. But just like regular life hacks, like Sumerians got to be pre-wheel, right? Like you could just, you would be a king. I don't know. NASCAR's 515. Gotcha. What up, Big Gritter? Getting off giddy last night for Westbrook did wonders for my lineups, man. Righty Tellez homer. We don't care about Blue Jays, bro. Get whatever. Or is he even on the Blue Jays, or is he on the Brewers? Where's Rowdy Tellez at? Rowdy Tellez. I don't know why. No, he's still on the Blue Jays. What? One of the random Blue Jays I don't care about went to the Brewers, right? No, he's on the Brewers. It's Rowdy Tellez. Okay, yeah, I'm dumb. All right, let's get locked in. Let's go game by game here. We're gonna go back and forth between DFS, game theory. Look at the prop lines, all that good stuff. So vibe out, man. Laid back Cadillac Jack on a Saturday afternoon. You guys already done some legwork. Share it with the class as we go game by game. If you guys got some leans on player props, drop the heat, drop the fire, and we will move onward and upward. All you got to do is believe in the thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up and let's ride. Let's vibe. Is Jokic best to spend up? Probably. Pacers at the Magic. First game of the docket. 7 p.m. tip-off. Project starting 5 for the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Buddy Hield, Aaron Naismith, Miles, Timmy Turner taking on Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. 230s are total here. 2.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Orlando Magic. Magic frustratingly deep with their rotation. So never really find yourself sinking your teeth here on a guy specifically. But I do think because of the matchup against a fast-paced Pacers team, we might double back here on a shorter slate and grab some exposure to some of these guys, because 6,600 on Markelle Fultz on DraftKings certainly has a range of outcomes for success. Franz Wagner under 6K has 30 plus fantasy point potential. Paulo Banchero at a sub 8K has 40. So in a vacuum, a lot of these guys make a lot of sense, but there's also median range of outcomes where everyone just plays 28 to 32 minutes and no one really just goes nuclear. But I think there's going to be a lot of tier 3 guys in the bucket here for the Magic. Maybe we max 2. Usually I just like max 3 and see what happens, but maybe we max 2. We'll see to kind of govern it. Maybe we'll make some rules, because you could put Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz in like a group to kind of wedge between likeliness of outcomes. So they all make sense in a vacuum. I don't think we're going to get to anything here on a prop standpoint. Fultz, like, I don't know, would Fultz be at 4.5 or 5.5 assists? Like, maybe I can get behind that. He's at 5.5. That feels like on the high end. So for prop betting, I think we're gonna focus on the other side, the Pacer side. And Halliburton is usually the guy. So anytime we get Halliburton at like single-digit assist, I'm interested. And today, Tyrese Halliburton is at single-digit assist. So let's go look at Odds Shopper here. Let's go pull up the assist. Hey. Fortune Jama. Hey, man, appreciate that. So about a coin flip. So if you got that feeling in your bad knee for some big assist here for Tyrese Halliburton, I love me some Halliburton. So let's go pull up the Wowie. Let's pull up Hallie. Let's just go. Let's go to February 1. It's a broken record at this point. But Halliburton, one of the best in the league at potential assists per game and assists per game and converting assists in the month of February alone, a 40.2% assist rate, and that's pretty linear with what he's been doing all year. So if you're buying into a 2-point spread, which is a competitive ball game, 230 total, there's a lot of reason to be interested in Halliburton here. So without saying it, well, I'm gonna add the homie to the prop list. So I'm gonna start him off as a tier 2, Tyrese Halliburton. Let's go over 9.5 assists. Just an absolute monster. And that's probably all I want to do for props. For DFS, though, I think it makes a lot of sense to be here. Halliburton does have one of those sneaky abilities to be a top 2, top 3 fantasy scorer on this particular slate. You do have the big boys, Jokic and Embiid, at the top, but you don't get that far down the list of raw points before getting to Halliburton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list. Pre-flop in projected fantasy points, and the cheapest of the top 6. So he has a case to certainly be optimal tonight. So I'm interested very much so in Halliburton exposure. Again, much like the Magic, in a vacuum, you could put a couple of these guys, Buddy Hields, Turners, but the price on Turner is probably the highest I can recall all year. 8K on FanDuel, 7,300 on DraftKings. Much like we talked about this concept against Joel Embiid the other night, the 76ers. If you put Turner against high-volume front-court shooters, Wendell Carter, Paolo Banchero, a guy that averages over 2 blocks per game. That was Jaren Jackson that we made that reference to, but it applies here because Miles Turner is a guy that goes for blocks. Going against high-volume shooters in the Magic increases shots on goal, right? Some more saves, some more blocks. So it could pay off on a FanDuel perspective. I'm at 40.8 fantasy points pre-flop on less than a 30-minute projection. So maybe we can get fantasy points on PrizePicks and feel good about it. 38.5. Not a big gap. I do lean the over, but not a massive margin of difference between the projections. So probably not going to subscribe to the over yet. I just want to grab Halliburton. I think Halliburton's the only prop I like here. Do you guys have any outstanding comments, questions, concerns regarding this game? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next one. Dude Gun, what's the deal with Brandon Clark versus Tillman play? So they stagger who starts between them, usually matchup based and size based. Don't really know game to game who's going to start. I think it's pretty easy to attack them from a DFS standpoint if you are managing a portfolio lineup. So just simply make a group on Fantasy Cruncher and prevent overlap between them, and then whichever one starts, you put them on the south side of the seesaw when it comes to minute projections, right? Morant's been off lately. Let's see. We'll get to that game. Do I not have DraftKings open? What am I doing? Oh no, I do. Okay, I'm sorry, me. John Morant. We'll look at this game a little bit deeper. But John Morant, I feel like, has been a victim of bad matchups. Utah's not a bad matchup. Boston, Philly, and we've had Brooks and Bane back and healthy. So maybe it's a little bit of everything. Maybe we'll look a little bit deeper. Keldon Johnson's now questionable for San Antonio. All right. What up, Jim Parrish? Hope you're doing all right. What up, OMG? Big fan of vacuums. Dyson. Not to be confused with Dyson Daniels. What up, great kid? Here. I hope you're doing all right. Fournier's available. Good to know. Turner or Kessler? Walker Kessler or Miles Turner? Probably Miles Turner. How big is the gap between projection? Miles Turner's at 40. Walker Kessler's at, there's like a 9-point gap. I guess closer to like 6-point gap on FanDuel. So like, I guess I would take the points there. But it is a, okay, on FanDuel is a $600 difference. It's not that big of a difference. On DraftKings, a little bit more drastic. Clark is useless. Okay. Thoughts on stacking this game since people will flock to that Spurs versus Jazz game? Man, so when you say stack, do you mean 3v3? Just try to think, how often can 3 Pacers and 3 Magic be optimal on this slate? And I think that's a stretch for any. Maybe 2v2 is probably a little bit more apropos, because Halliburton is going to positively correlate with somebody that you pair with him because of his heavy assist rate. So whether it be a Hield or a Turner or even Mathurin off the bench, a little less positive correlation, but still positive. And then on the Magic, what, Banchero? I don't know. Let's go pull up the Magic here. Do you believe in magic? For the month of February. Dude, check this out. Okay. Isaac, you're not going to play him. Bamba's literally not on the team. So 2 guys in the month of February have averaged over a fantasy point per minute. I can see a 2v2 on this slate. 3v3 is probably a little too much. 3 darts is too much. Heat at the Hornets. Next game on the docket. What up, Crispy? Hope you're doing all right. Project starting 5 for the Heat. Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Jimmy G, Buckets, Kevin Love, Bam Adebayo taking on LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre. I've also seen JT Thor, Mark Williams. We got a 228 total, 6-point spread favor of the Miami Heat. PJ Washington, he's hurt. Oh, that's what I forgot. NBA. Let's open up the depth chart. Let's get some information on this game. Both sides, maybe you kind of grit your teeth and expect something, but I guess if the Heat have given us, I don't know. Sometimes you worry about Jimmy or Bam on a back-to-back, but let's go pull up the Roto World depth chart here. Got Jaylen Brown, Harden, Ingram. All reasonable clicks today. Doubtful for PJ Washington. So, like I said, I think there's a path to like moving Hayward to the 4 or Oubre. You know what I'm saying? Go a little bit smaller, especially if they use Kevin Love. And then for Miami, we had Kevin Love on the report, but I don't think he's like actually questionable. I think he's just old, and we were watching him on a back-to-back. Or maybe he is actually questionable. He's probable to play it. All right, cool. Left knee hyperextension. Cool. So yesterday, Kevin Love was kind of a surprise start. And at 4K on FanDuel 3,800, that's hard to not just click and move forward against a team like the Hornets. Looking at the rotation, that game got a little bit lopsided. Kind of a massive okie doke. Like, that was a microcosm of... let's go open up Popcorn Machine because AMF doesn't have that game yet. Where we expected Giannis to not play, and then he got upgraded from doubtful to questionable. We don't have anything in Popcorn Machine either. What gives? And then Giannis did play, but then he got hurt. So, and then the game was still lopsided. So I would say anything north of a 20-minute projection for Kevin Love in this particular matchup, I'm still pretty much interested in. And I'm getting almost a 30 fantasy point bring back here. So yeah, Kevin Love seems like a staple. Core value on both sides, especially on DraftKings, a little bit more flexible. And then because of the matchup, Charlotte Hornets being one of the fastest paced, parlayed with one of the worst defenses. Great spot, especially for a team like the Miami Heat, who bring one of the slowest pace in the league and get the benefit of the bump here. So do like getting to several of these Heat players. I don't know how we throttle this. I do think you can get up to 3 Heat here because of Kevin Love's price point. But I do wonder, and maybe this is for other matchups, because last night I was slamming the Adebayo under PRA, and maybe I got a little bit lucky because Giannis ended up playing, and then it was just like a tough front court matchup. And then when Kevin Love started, I was like, man, that is not, I don't know, a Caleb Martin or a Max Drew. So I just felt really good about Bam Adebayo being overpriced when it comes to stuff like PRA. I would want to take that same game theory on a back-to-back, but I don't know that I could feel as confident strictly because the matchup is that good. So I guess this will get the market for PRA on guys like Adebayo, guys like Jimmy Butler, and then do we have any? Let's see if we I don't know if we go to Miami. I know the minute rotations haven't quite updated, but have we got usage rates updated? So let's just put Kevin Love on the court and see what we can get. 27 likes, that's it? That's it? Oh, come on, chat. Let's get 100. So we didn't. So last night's stats were just not acknowledged. Cool. So what did he do? He only took 3 shots? What's going on here? Hey. What's going on here? 4 shot attempts, 0 for 4. All 4 of those shot attempts were from behind the arc. He did grab 8 rebounds in those 22 minutes. Meanwhile, Adebayo, 7 rebounds. So, despite not having action, the data, we can still kind of use our brains and just kind of guess how this will shake out. So, I think we would all agree Kevin Love's presence on the basketball court is going to be a net negative for somebody else's usage's ceiling. And because Kevin Love is such a good rebounder, like I want to believe that Adebayo will be overpriced, and he's back at 35.5. But the matchup, though, some spots he's at 36. What is PrizePicks? I don't think I'm gonna be brave enough to make this click. Why did I Control F that? They got him at 36.5. So I think I'm gonna leave that alone. But going forward, hopefully it stays at 35, 36.5 and not as lucrative matchups, and I can get into some unders. Do we have Kevin Love props? No, we do not. It feels like Love would be a reasonable deterrent to a lot of these other spots. 5 assists for Jimmy. All right, we're just playing this game for DFS, at least from the Heat side. Spin the wheel, make a deal. I think we can up to 3 Heat because of Kevin Love. Jimmy's going to be harder to get to, I think, on this slate because of some of the other options at the 9K range, but maybe that makes him fun. I would assume he comes in at single-digit ownership because of so many options at the same price range. Let's see, Control F Butler. Yeah, he is virtually unknown, so you don't have to get to much of him to be well over the field in a positive matchup. So that's how I'd play that. Kind of same with Adebayo. I think the prices are a little bit above comfort levels, but because of the matchup, I'm gonna have some. We'll see if the Heat give us some curveballs. It really feels like one of those curveball spots on a back-to-back, but we shall see. Hornets side with PJ Washington down. So I know Kelly Oubre came back yesterday, but 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, whatever the phrase is. We can kind of just fill in those minutes if the Hornets roll him out. And if they did that, then I'm fine with staying at the LaMelo assist. Man, I would like that data too. Fudge, man. It's really important to have minute rotations. So just 23 minutes last night. Do we think Hayward stretches out and they could just go full guards? If they do, even if they don't, like I see some sites project like JT Thor in the 4 spot. I guess no matter what, I think it's reasonable to get behind LaMelo still. So LaMelo being able to play 40 minutes still last night, we know his facilitation abilities crazy high, and Kelly Oubre is another shooter that could maybe convert for him in this spot where he might have overlap with Rozier, with Oubre, with Hayward. Oh, Miami's a tougher matchup, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it for LaMelo. Kind of like Halliburton. If we can continue to get him at single digits, I will always be interested. 8.5. Yeah, I'm probably going to be in on that. And Miami's one of those funnel defenses where Bam really restricts scoring in the paint, and they see a high frequency of 3-point attempts from opponents, or 3-point percentage of shots taken from opponents. LaMelo is at 8.5. A little bit of steam on the over, so there's odds value, I guess you would say, depending on what book you're comparing the PrizePicks line to. Like BetMGM's minus 135 for the over. So I think the PrizePicks, with the way it's set up, it's like minus 118. So there is value in the over right now, and the fact that it's under 9, I'm interested anyway. So let's put him with Hallie in the tier 2. I think let's go LaMelo Ball over 8.5 assists, and I fully expect that. I don't say fully expect, but I do think that could move to 9 before the slate locks. If other books start trending up, because minus 125 on DraftKings, minus 125 points bet. So market can steam this up. So maybe if you do want to grab some action on that, you might act sooner than later, because it may not stay at 180 or at 8.5. What up, Cam Gunn? I can't wait for MLB, man. Watching our Yankees score 10+ run at 3%. I don't know. So Yankees are either chalk or no one plays them. It depends on how they're priced out. But I will absolutely, I love baseball so much. This new pitch clock, though, man. I don't know if you guys seen the clip. Machado got dinged. They added a pitch clock. It's like a shot clock to that in basketball for baseball, trying to speed up the game. I don't like change, but it is what it is. I'm okay with that. And I do wonder if it's gonna like gas pitchers quicker. You know what I'm saying, with less breathing time between pitches. But it certainly was very prevalent in watching the games yesterday. But perhaps in a good way. And then if you're a pitcher against one of these bop teams, on top of that, no shift. This might be a pretty offensive friendly season for baseball. We'll see. Did Love shot 0 for 4 though. Butler and Brown solo owned. I kind of want to get to them. Jaylen Brown, yeah. Oubre isn't too expensive on DraftKings. Oubre under 7K, so that becomes the ultimate spin the wheel, make a deal spot, right? Especially if they all start. Oubre, Hayward, Rozier, those guys that are a little bit more scoring dependent. So I'd probably drive a wedge overlap between Rozier and Oubre if they both started. Certainly there's a range of outcomes where 2 of these guys can hit, but it probably means that I don't know. Like I would probably go 2 of 3 of Melo, Ball, Rozier, and Oubre. But LaMelo seems like the safest because of how high his assist rate is. And then, like I said, Miami has one of the best points in a paint defenses in basketball. and they see 43% of opponent shots being threes, and Charlotte will chuck threes. They have, or at least they have a couple guys that will chuck threes. LaMelo Ball's live to shoot 10 plus threes. Rozier as well. So before, if Oubre doesn't start, maybe we go to the old faithful, right? Melo assists paired with Rozier over 2.5 threes, and it's not even offered. If it does get offered, maybe we do that. Pitch clock should not be on in the 9th inning or the playoffs in general. Would be ruined what makes clutch baseball. Yeah, man, I'm fully in love with the sport of baseball. So me personally, I don't need change, but I understand that the sport is boring to the casual eye. So I can appreciate wanting to try new things. Yeah, there's a lot of steam on the over 2.5 for Rozier, so no shot we get that on PrizePicks today. If we do, it's gonna be like 3.5, and at 3, that's probably not gonna be great. Does Thrive offer Rozier? They just have him at 20.5 points, 8.5. Oh, Control F Rozier. Darn it, we can't get to Old Faithful, at least not on PrizePicks. The market's too smart. They knew. But I can see wanting to speed the game up. It is pretty hard to, I don't know, sit down for a baseball game, I guess, and not know how long it's going to take. But I love it. You can give me 6-hour baseball games, and I'll just be enthralled. But I'm built different. Baseball is the most beautiful sport of them all. Hate the pitch clock. Yeah. Rodon's going to be a beast. I hope so. How you liking over 1.5 threes for Tobias? Remind me when we get there. How far down is that game? Against the Celtics? I can see Celtics are another one of those funnel defenses, but I hate relying on Tobias. All right, let's move on to the next game. For DFS, we're getting obvious exposure to all the big boys. LaMelo, how old is LaMelo today? LaMelo, 11%. Okay, I'll take LaMelo assist and move on. Unless Mark Williams has like a stupid line and I could take the under. Mark Williams. They have him at 10 points. Oof. PRA would be the biggest line at 18.5. That's it. That's so low. Like I was shopping to bet the under, so I get it. But that's such a low line for a starting center in the NBA. It's crazy. I'm ready for World Baseball Classic, though. That is fun baseball. Williams 18.5. A little steam on the over. It's such a low line for a center that I get it, but I'm not going to prop bet that. Moving on to the next game. Pelicans at the Knicks. Projects 35 for the Pelicans. CJ McCollum, Josh Richardson, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, and Jonas Valanciunas taking on Jalen Brunson. And speeding Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. 224 is our total. 3.5 point spread in favor of the New York Knicks. Price is looking attackable for CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. Ingram under 8K on FanDuel with a reasonable shot at 40 plus fantasy points is something that I want to get to. J Rich has been starting and he's 4,200 on DraftKings, so maybe something that falls in lineups. I think generally speaking, though, the Pelicans are frustratingly saturated when it comes to minute rotations. Like, you would love to get the J-Val at 6K at a high level, but because of Larry Nance, because of Hernan Gomez, because of Jackson Hayes, like there's rarely a game right now where J-Val can be safely projected for over 30 minutes. Maybe because of the size that the Knicks offer with Robinson, Randall, Hardenstein, Jericho Sims. Maybe this is one of those 30-plus minute games for J-Val with a little bit more traditional size. And because of that, the 6.1K price point is a little bit more intriguing. And every now and then, J-Val can have one of those anomalic 3-point shooting games where he'll chuck 10 of them like he did against Milwaukee. And this would be one of those spots where the Knicks see a lot of threes and restrict points in the paint. So something like that. I think I would get to J-Val a little bit more than usual just because of all of that going his way. But if he just logs in 26 minutes, we did this to ourselves. But McCollum and Ingram definitely have a lot of interest in looking at the Pelicans from the 23rd. Jay Rich logged 28 minutes. So again, at the 4K range, I'd be interested in that. Ingram 36 minutes and McCollum 35. So McCollum and Ingram are essentially the leaders of interest for me here, and that's not going to change here. On the Knicks side, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, the two guys I'd probably get to the most, with Jalen Brunson probably being the guy I do actually get to the most, looking for 40 plus fantasy points. So anything prop wise that we want to get to with those names, Ingram, McCollum, Brunson. Let's pull up Brunson for the month of February. I'm a sucker for assists, man. I am. Heart revenge narrative possibly. It's one of them, but no. He's taking Grimes minutes and some from Barrett. Yeah, so maybe we could get into Barrett unders, because Barrett seems to go ghost often anyway. RJ Barrett has a 23% usage, which is actually not that bad. I guess it's, I don't know. It's reasonable. 29% usage on Jalen Brunson, 30% for Julius Randle, 28% assist rate in the month of February for Jalen Brunson. So do we get 6.5, 7.5 for maybe a Brunson assist prop? We get 6. Ooh, wow, that's lower than even my conservative number. So let's go look at the market. I need to DoorDash some water. I ran out. 5.5 got steamed up to 6. So it's almost the same bet. And you push. Push it. I think I would be interested in it. Tight game. Brunson should play 38 minutes. Yeah, I probably I'll throw it in the tier 3. Jalen Brunson over 6 assists. Is there any spot where we can get Brunson at the softer 5.5, knowing that there's market value? 2 threes. Yo, do we get Rozier threes on No House? I love No House. I wish they would offer more. Like PrizePicks just has the craziest robust board. And No House is just like, you get points in PRA, and then maybe we give you 3 other things before lock. So they're a little bit harder. No threes for Rozier. Fudge. Used to be Randall and Barrett. Now RJ's number 3, but he can still get off. Yeah, so we get that Herb Jones defense. What do we throw it on? Yeah, we are seeing some 30-minute games here. Like, that last game was, I don't want to say inexplicable, but let's see if we can. Oh my God, why? Bro, I wish. Let's see. Popcorn doesn't have. Does Popcorn have? That was the 23rd, right? So many tabs. That was the 24th. That was yesterday. No, they don't have it either. Okay. So you guys are thinking maybe Josh Hart has a negative impact on RJ Barrett, and it's not necessarily like a cupcake matchup. So what is the market line on RJ Barrett for PRA and then maybe points? Here, what up, Skimmer? Hope you're doing all right today. So let's go Barrett. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. 24.5, some spots 23.5. You guys remember Bad News Barrett? 23.5. So 23.5 is what PrizePicks is offering, and that's pretty much a coin flip, as it looks like it was 24.5. I'm probably not gonna touch that, especially since I want to get into Brunson overs on assist. Would be a little bit counterintuitive, even though I understand it. Mitchell Robinson, and I said, hey, Mitchell Robinson. How big of an impact? Last night, 28 minutes. I am way under projected minute wise then. And what did that do to Jericho Sims? He just didn't play. Huh? He just didn't play. And then Hartenstein, 20 minutes. All right. I guess if Mitch Rob is live for 25 plus minutes, point per minute is very viable, very possible. So maybe he makes the back end of the player pool, but I'm just gonna go Brunson from front end, right? All right, move on to Nuggets and Grizzlies. This game should be fun. Project 35 for the Nuggets: Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Vlatko Cancar, and Nikola Jokic taking on Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and one of Brandon Clark or Xavier Tillman. 235 is our total. 2.5 point spread in favor of the Memphis Grizzlies. We have Aaron Gordon still down. So I do think I could get into Michael Porter action again. And what I did last game with the Nuggets was I think I took Murray assists with Michael Porter Jr. threes. I feel like that would be live here again because the Grizzlies are just a good defense. So it is what it is. But you could put Brooks on Jamal Murray, and then Jaren Jackson Jr., though foul prone, is likelier to match up with Jokic here and there. So Michael Porter Jr. seems like, other than KCP, the guy that would have significant volume to get behind. And the majority of his shots are going to be from behind the arc. 5 of 13, 5 of 10, 6 of 10. The Cavs in Miami, kind of similar in terms of archetype defensively, right? So what I mean by that is we go to points in the paint allowed. The Heat, the Cavs, the Grizzlies, they're all top 4 in restricting points in the paint. And what we can do with that is funnel some of those shot attempts to behind the arc. And the Grizzlies, we look at 3-point frequency from opponents. The Grizzlies are top 7 in percentage of shot volume from behind the arc. So we can justifiably plant some shot volume on Michael Porter Jr., who's already one of their top 3-point attempters. And then you take out a guy like Aaron Gordon, it's just more positives going his way. So I guess before we do all that, do we have Michael Porter threes even offered? We do not on PrizePicks. What about No Else Advantage? That's going to be a 1074 rubber ducky. All right. Well, maybe they add it. Because sometimes No House will add that stuff late. But if it's like Rozier, maybe he's already like minus 130 for the over 2.5. Minus 175. Okay, well then if we do get it, it'll be 3.5. And at that point, it's a little rough. So we just wasted 5 minutes of analysis. Let's go. For DFS, 6K on MPJ looks a little bit more enthralling than the 7K price point. So I'm with that. And I don't know, what's our assists for the Denver Nuggets? We got 6 assists for Jamal. Calm down, Jamal. And Jokic is at 10. All right. Let's go to Denver. 7K for Porter's decent. It's not as comfortable. not as comfortable as 6K, because 6K we're also going to get the 3-point bonus. But on a 6-game slate, we can take floor a little bit more. That rhymed. Let's put MPJ on the court. Let's put Jamal on the court. Jamal hasn't played a ton this month, so it may be a little rough. Take off Aaron Gordon. Might actually elongate on the sample size to go to the beginning of the season in October, right? October 18th or whatever. I don't know why, but my DoorDash app doesn't work on my iPhone all of the time. Only 80 minutes. In that 80 minutes, Jamal Murray 34% assist rate, and then a 47.5% assist rate for Jokic. That's wild. 3 guys over fantasy point per minute. So I guess Jokic is a guy that it's just matchup proof. It's just matchup proof. So coming in on the sheet of raw fantasy point projection, he is 7 above Embiid. So that makes him the king of the mountain. And usually the most raw points on a 6-game slate finds a way to the top of the standings if it's drastically higher than the next man up. And right now the pre-flop projection is kind of going his way. With Jaren Jackson, we said this against Embiid the other day. If he can not foul, he has a ton of block potential against high volume shooters, but he could also foul. So does Jokic have an attackable free throw prop? And just kind of play both sides of that. Maybe 2 different tickets. You know, one side with Jokic free throws, one side with 4.5 free throws made. Now maybe Jokic has got that Vucevic. He's on whatever you on. He's got that Vucevic stuff where he doesn't shoot as many free throws. So you essentially want him to get fouled 3 or 4 times shooting fouls. That's too low. That's too low. It's kind of wild that him and Vucevic don't. Vucevic especially. Vucevic is like, we'll go games between free throw attempts. All right, so I don't want to do that. But I do want some Jokic. So Jokic, Porter, Jamal Murray. KCP probably is a better play than my mind wants to believe. And then the Grizzlies side, you guys talked about Ja Morant being a little bit sluggish in terms of fantasy production as of late. Do we want to pinpoint this on a slump, or can we reasonably suggest that Desmond Bane's return is going to make Ja Morant less consistent when it comes to achieving fantasy ceiling? So let's look at let's just do on-off for Morant and Bane, right? So let's put, I'm gonna leave Steven Adams. We'll not mess with Steven Adams, but let's put Bane, Brooks, Triple J, and Ja on. What does Ja think of all this? 199 minutes of sample size for these 4 on the court together. Ja is a 1.36 fantasy point per minute in that split, a 40% assist rate. It's pretty doggone good. Now let's take off Bane. So that 1.3-esque per minute production for Ja moves to 1.5. So that's pretty significant in terms of a per minute rate, right? 0.2 fantasy points per minute. So on a 35-minute projection, you do the math, but that could be 5 to 8 with a margin of difference or range of outcomes, whatever fancy nerd word you want to use there. So yeah, I think Bane is somebody that we can point at and say, hey, this is going to make Ja Morant's floor and ceiling be a little bit more volatile, but Ja Morant's ceiling will always be his ceiling. And will always have a reasonable range of outcomes of being optimal. And in this particular slate, the raw fantasy point projection put him top 4 from like 2 hours ago in fantasy point projection. So it comes down to probability of success, probability of being a top 4 scorer versus ownership. And looking at Ja Morant, he is at almost 1 in 5 lineups. So, hey, man, if you think he has a 30% chance of being optimal, there's a little bit of positive leverage for you there. But I understand if you think he has more of a 15% chance of being optimal, it is what it is. I think that 20% is a fair area to be at for Ja Morant in ownership. And I also wonder how I can get to Ja versus Jokic. It also comes down to matchups that are beatable in the paint. Like I said, Ja Morant, while Bane has been back, and we can point at that and say that is a reason why his permanent production is down. He also has had a tougher strength of schedule as of late. Utah removed from the equation here. Philly, Boston, Minnesota, Chicago. These are teams, especially Philly and Boston. These are teams that his skill set is not supposed to thrive against. Does that make sense? Because, let's see, Boston, Philly, Chicago. We said Minnesota. Minnesota's a little bit worse. So 3 of those teams we mentioned are top half in the league in preventing points in the paint. And Philly and Boston can arguably be top 10 when, or top 5 even, when they're healthy. And Ja Morant is going to score over half of his points in the paint. So we can give strength of schedule a little bit of the blame here, as Ja is averaging 15 points per game in the paint. And he averages so literally almost half of his points are scored in the paint. And when it comes to the Denver Nuggets, they're a little bit softer at front court defense. So it is one of the better matchups that Ja has seen, right? So points in the paint allowed. Denver is top 7. So that's good. So that's good. Have we seen any market depreciation in Ja point line? Point line. 230 you guys hanging out. 60 likes. Come on, y'all. Let's get to 100. Let's do it. I keep forgetting. You gotta just use one name. 27.5 is such a high line. Such a high line. That's essentially his average, though, right? Yeah. Literally put his average. Little steam on the under, but that's only in some spots. I don't really have a strong take to be one way or the other. But maybe Desmond Bane is enough. I don't know. Hey, Stat Muse, help me out here. Robinson should get double-digit rebounds and some blocks for sure. Yeah. Are all the prop sites the same? Because I don't like how you can only pick one prop per player on PrizePicks. Yeah, that's most of those parlay sites are the same. I do think they're like on sportsbooks. Some of them will offer multiple props for the same player on ladders and same game parlays. But I'm pretty sure, off the top of my head, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure you can only do one prop per player. Otherwise, you would just do like PRA, right? Like if you're gonna bet, you know what I mean. But PrizePicks will offer you like points and rebounds, PRA, rebound points, rebounds, assists. So you can kind of achieve what you're trying to do without trying to manipulate the odds. What am I looking at? Oh, Ja Morant points by game log with Desmond Bane. Let's go last 20 games. Imagine watching and not hitting a like. Man, let them know. 32, 34, 32. All right, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. All right. We're not going to have a lean there for props. So we're going to play him in DFS, though. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., under 8K on DraftKings, 8,500 on FanDuel. The fact that Jokic doesn't get to the line like that makes me a little bit more encouraged to click Jaren Jackson Jr. Just incredible block opportunity against high volume shooters. But give me APJ, give me Jaren Jackson Jr., John Morant. AK for Desmond Bain, so hard to get to with confidence. 4,100 on Dylan Brooks is really cheap. That's kind of like Josh Richardson, where can we fall into 25 on a 6-gamer? I think so. So maybe we get the Brooks at a decent clip. Does that come with ownership? A little bit, not a lot. Morant, Murray, minute stack makes sense. Like Triple J blocks tonight? Is it 3.5? Wasn't it 3.5 the other day? Jaren Jackson Jr. Or do they even offer it? I don't even see it. 40 fantasy points, though. I have him at 43. Meh. Small forwards do well against the Nuggets. I think KCP guards Morant. That's fair. Here, what up, blocks me? I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing anything in chat. Scrolling up a little bit. All right, we're good. Celtics at the Sixers. Project 25 for the Celtics. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. The Time Lord, Robert Williams, up against James Harden, DeAnthony Melton, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, and Joel Embiid. 226 is our total. 1.5 point spread in favor of the Boston Celtics. And surprise, surprise, I don't have Joel Embiid listed on the injury report. Yeah, Joel's he's gonna warm up, see how he feels. He's probably questionable. That happened the other night. Like, Joel wasn't on the injury report, but then like Doc was like, yeah, he was sick. I was like, wait, what? He's sick? Why don't we know about this? Relatively clean sheets here, so we should expect a defensive-minded, slower-paced game. And usually that's enough at max price on everybody to not be that optimistic, but we can plant some big usage on a potential Eastern Conference Finals preview. So I do want to get here because of the 6-game slate. We don't get, like I said, we don't get far on a list without getting to Joel Embiid, without getting to Jason Tatum in terms of highest raw fantasy scorers. James Harden's right there as well. So I can't look away as often as I would on a bigger slate. But yeah, these teams are pretty healthy and the minute rotation could be a little bit trolly, but I think the big boys are the big boys. So on the Celtics side, from a podium standpoint in terms of raw fantasy points, I think it's always going to be Tatum, then Brown. Brown is moving upwards in price. He's been closer to 8K than 9K on FanDuel. Well, today it's the opposite. And then Robert Williams, what's going on here? On the other side of the All-Star break, there was a weird situation where Robert Williams didn't start, played 15 minutes in a complete punt game that I thought they were trolling, and then turned around and played 26 minutes against the Pacers. And that was a game where it was a really close, high-scoring game. Miles Turner was unloading from behind the arc, and he wasn't in foul trouble or anything like that. So what are we doing with projecting Robert Williams minute-wise? You feel like his archetype defensively much more, I guess, live to fill a need here against Embiid, right? Embiid, yeah, he could pull up from downtown, but maybe not as aggressive as like a Miles Turner was doing. So do we expect Robert Williams to be part of this? Do we expect him to not close out like he did last game in lieu of a smaller lineup that featured essentially 3 guards with Horford and Tatum filling up your front court? I just don't know what they're doing here. So that's frustrating. I guess we can look at historical data for Williams against Joel Embiid. Robert Williams, DKP by game log versus Joel Embiid. Let's go last 10 games. I don't really care about the DKP here. I just had to do something to bring up. So 31 minutes, 25 minutes. This is January. So essentially, this is the only game that matters. Everything else is from last year. And in January, he logged 31 minutes. A starting lineup that included... Wait, no, that was last year. That's the last year. So he hasn't played Embiid this year. So we have nothing to go off of. Cool. I don't know, guys. I don't know. The only game I care about tonight, Spurs versus Jazz, 80%. Yeah, dog, that's gonna be the one. Tips on a $1 single entry. I mean, that's depends on how many entries are in it, right? The $1 level is a lot softer, so you don't have to overthink it. Maybe not on a 6-gamer, but I care more. I would say I care more about the number of entries in the contest versus the buy-in level, right? The more entries, the cuter you gotta be to be the top. Celtics can be in shootout games sometimes too, so the studs may look good for sure. Yeah, and I probably do sleep on good defensive games more often than I should, because they can turn into down the wire stretch and maybe a little bit more overtime prone. So I don't know. Yo, Gun, are you the leader of the D-Gen Nation? I am not. What is that? Is that a thing, or you just make that up? My jam 100% full tonight. I mean, it's on paper a good spot. It's just the volatility in rotation. We don't have any news dropping yet, do we? Not for this slate. All right, cool. Cool. 74 likes, man. 26 away from 100. Do it. You just made it up. Okay. Would you pick Brown 23 plus points or Tatum 28 plus points? Ooh, what up, Shadow? Probably Brown. Just because it's the lower of the two. Look, I don't. Are you doing like alt lines for the $10 to $10,000 challenge, or I guess, or is that his actual line? I guess it could be his line. No, you got a 2-point discount. There's a little steam over. I guess it moved to 25. So probably the 20. I don't know. Probably the 23 plus, but yeah, probably 23 plus is what it is. So how about Harden assists? Are we still working with like 11.5 assist lines for James Harden? 9. Why can't I quit you? They're giving me all my dudes. Halliburton, LaMelo Ball, and all I need is Chris Paul. And I've got my favorite guys when it comes to assists. Somebody stop me from doing something stupid. Maybe I am the leader of the D-Gen Nation. Just don't tell nobody. Put James Harden on the court this season. Let's put him on the court with Yoel. What's up, Nate? What up, Amazement? Crazy game last night with the Clips. Love that Westbrook assist prop. Yeah. If they gonna keep giving it at 6, bro, they're not. But if they are, it was just crazy. It, like, people weren't like, I don't know. I was like, it was so suspiciously low. But at the same time, they scored 170 plus points. So there's a lot of anomalic outcomes in that game. Here, what up, Charles? In charge. Like 2 points lower. Yeah, I'll take the 2 points. So Harden on the season, 45.8% assist rate. We isolate that. We bring it forward here from January. See what we got. Magic will start. Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. Normal starters, so 47%. Why are we getting? Is it just because of the matchup we're getting Harden single digits? Because I will take it. Laurie and Jordan on Utah. plus money on the over, steaming on the under. Here we go. What do they know that I don't? 9 assists. So PrizePicks has already moved from what the market is still chilling at. And this is where Gunn doesn't know what he's just doesn't know. James Harden assist by game log versus Celtics last game. What? Why are we so? There's only 2 games from the Sixers uniform, and that one of them's last year. 37 minutes. What the team produce? All right, so a Gun likes the over. The market doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I would take the over, but it's probably not an EV bet because there's so much steam on the under. But maybe at 9, it's a little bit more pushy. So I'll put it as a tier 3 just to be responsible. But James Harden's like one of those guys, right? If we get single-digit assists on a 45% assist rate guy, I'm gonna take the over every time. Every time. Is what it is. It's the Marcus Smart defense. Yeah, but defense, like, that means more to me for like scoring than it does for converting assists, especially a guy like Harden. But maybe, I don't know. And Harden hasn't been. I don't know, man. I say it's usually he can get dogs off of him by hooking them and getting the Harden fouls, but they've been doing a lot better about the Harden rule and him not getting those calls. So I'm taking it over just from a gut thing, but it's probably not an EV thing because of the market. So I'm gonna do it in my personal tier 3, but full disclosure, market disagrees. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. I took Marcus Smart PRA 2. Got a feeling he's gonna get at least 10 points. Okay, that's fair. What about Joel Embiid? Free throws, is that like crazy high? 8.5, 9.5, something? You guys want to do anything with Embiid props? 30.5 points. Free throws is at 9.5. Holy cow. 53 fantasy points. So compared to my projections, I'm at 57. So that's pretty efficient lines. Don't want to do it. Brandon Katz, I thought he was banned. Harden and B don't want to play fast. Philly's been last in tempo when they both played for most of the year. Yeah, they're a pretty slow-paced team. Celtics aren't going to push the pace, so it doesn't matter. B gets all the calls at home. We have got 1 game left on the docket. Almost 300 of you guys hanging out, man. Hey, there's a couple ways to support the stream, support the movement. Number 1 way, let's go to rundfs.com. Get a VIP membership. That'll unlock the spreadsheets and the rundfs.com VIP Discord. And you'll get a Fantasy Cruncher voucher. But if you don't want to do that, there's other ways to do and support the channel. And that's why signing up for PrizePicks, for No House Advantage, for Thrive Fantasy, for Underdog Fantasy, all those sites have the exact same deal with us. If you use code GUNDACKER when you sign up, they're going to double your first deposit up to $100. Instant playable site credit. And they show love to us. So if you're looking for ways to support, there's a couple of them. The other way you could support is by smashing that like button and getting us to over 100. And we should be able to hit that momentarily. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys being here. The other way you could support is by seeing if that subscribe button is nice and red. And if it is, you should click on it. And we were closing in on, like, what is it, 9,400? Or 8,400? Not 9,400. So we started today at 8390. So we're at 8 subscribers. So we're 2 subs away from 8,400 goals, milestones. So there's got to be 2 of you guys out there that haven't hit that sub button yet. Hit that sub button. Show some love. It's all about love, positivity, and good vibes. I appreciate you guys. All right, let's get caught up on chat, and then we'll get into the main event tonight. Embiid should get double-digit boards. I'm not sure about. Yeah, it's a lot of tight squeezes when it comes to props in a slow-paced, tough defensive game, you know? So I get it. We liking Ja tonight. I don't mind it. Right now, I got Tatum over rebounds and assists. The Jokic over PRA. Tay. I appreciate you, Tay. Ingram over points. Fultz over points and assists. Derek White over free throws. Derek White free throws. What's that about? Is there just half? Is it just a hook? Uh-oh, what the hook gonna be? 1.5? Man. Alright. I won't get you off that. You got that feeling in your bad knee with the storm coming in. That's you, baby. That's you. KCP over 3-pointers. Is he at 1.5 or 2.5? Because I can get down with that too. Because I'm on APJ 3-pointers, but they're not going to give it to us. He's at 1.5. I can research into that. What kind of volume we getting here? 4, 6? Oof. Would like higher volume, but we could justify the spot in the matchup. So maybe tight squeezes, but I appreciate you sharing what you're on, Narrow. Anybody else that has stuff like that, share it with the class. It's great. Love it. The best value prop in the market is Harden over 21.5 real points. Harden's angry when he wasn't an all-star and he's been much better with rest. He's only second game since the break. All right, so value. Let's define value while we say, yo, Kid Stu with the sub. Thank you. Hope you're doing all right, man. Yeah, you guys subbing. Feel free to jump in chat, man. Oh, my God. Alfredo Pineda with the sub, man. Shout out to you. I just typed Kid Stu in the Control F, by the way. Harden's 21.5. So when you say value, that's a personal thing, right? That's not a market value. Unless you're betting on DraftKings and comparing that line to some other book. But I get what you're saying. What up, Mike? Embiid 3-pointer over? What is it at? Half or 1.5? Probably 1.5, right? It's not even offered on PrizePicks. It's probably 1.5 though, right? I can't imagine it's. It's at half, and it's steamed on the over. So, where are you? If you're getting it like closer to even money, yes, on the over. If we're just implying odds value, but if wherever you're at is already adjusted, then maybe it's not worth it. Value is objective, not subjective. You're subjectively wrong. Objectively speaking. Stupid. I'm joking. I just wanted to say something. Your offense is offensive. H-Town, that's what's up, kid. Houston in the house. Let's go. How about Brunson points? I jotted down Brunson assists, but I don't mind points. Williams lets big bombs away. Look at Turner last game. Yeah, but that's different. All right, Miles Turner shooting threes is part of his game, and that's not to say it's not part of Embiid. Embiid can shoot threes, but like you can't just expect people to curtain call other people's big performance. Like it's going to be very rare to see Embiid chuck 10 threes in a game, especially on a team that has Maxey and Harris and Harden, right? With the Pacers, Miles Turner has chucked 10 plus threes. I want to say on a regular basis, but it's not an anomaly. Also, in that game, like, Robert Williams only played like 25 minutes. He didn't close out, right? So if you look at that last stretch for Miles Turner when he closed out the game, I guess he only took 1-3. But yes, Robert Williams is more of a traditional rim protector. And if you want to get away from that, you chuck threes, or you shoot mid-range jumpers, or you draw fouls. But I'm with you on the over. I just don't know what the odds you're paying, like what kind of vig you're working with, because the vig is like minus 180 on the over half a three. So like if you can get it as part of a entry on a parlay style site, which you can't get it on PrizePicks. I assume none of these sites are going to offer that. Like the question is, what are you paying at over half a three? Is it just on a random parlay where you just want to take it? Then sure, go for it. But I just don't really, I don't know the context of the bet, right? Because value is important for prop betting. Any good Spurs Jazz prop? We're gonna jump in that major year alert, bag alert. We had a bag alert yesterday. Robert Williams never plays more than 25-30 minutes. So I mean, he was on a implied minute restriction coming into the season, and then it was lifted, and then that's when we started seeing 30+ minute games. 36 minutes. He definitely does play more than 30 minutes, right in cats. But I do think it's going to be one of those matchup based situations. And he was just basically run off the court in that Pacer spot. I wouldn't expect him to never play over 30 minutes going forward. I just think it has to be in the right matchup. Look at EMAC, President Mac in the chat. Return of the Mac. How about Brunson points? All right, we'll back it up just a minute. So for Brunson, again, if this is a PrizePicks question, we'll compare it to the market. I don't mind getting to Brunson. I have Brunson assist as the number I'm attacking. So the market's at 24.5, kind of coin flippy in spots. But I guess minus 130 on Caesar, minus 120. So what is it? It's like minus 118 when it's on a PrizePicks slip, essentially. So I don't know. I think I'd rather take the assist, but 25.5. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on assist. 25.5 is fine though. If you like it, you go with that feeling in your bad knee. But I'm on assist. I had a Brunson 6 assists as a tier 3. Williams has had constant knee issues. Yeah, so has every center in basketball. Spurs at the Jazz. Main event. Projects 35 for the Spurs. Devontae Graham, Malachi Branham, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Zach Collins taking on Jordan Clarkson, THT, Larry Marketing, Kelly Olynyk, and Walker Kessler Ranger. 240 total. 10.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Utah Jazz. Spurs gave us the okie doke, right? Friend of the channel drawing a start last night, and he's 4,500 today on DraftKings. So if they run that back, gotta be interested, but they are kind of annoying pre-flop. But we do have Trey Jones down, so that's guard minutes that we can feel a little bit better about planting on guys like Devontae, Malachi Branham. And then Sohan had a tag. So let's get the update on all things Spurs, because this game is very important, right? At 240 total is something we want exposure to, especially at all these modest prices. Sohan's probable. So Keldon Johnson is questionable with stomach illness. That would be pretty big. He's their usage guy. If you take that out of the mix, then yeah, we're certainly filling in the blanks. I don't even know. There's nothing to look at. I was just about to do on-off court too, but Devontae's been there for 5 minutes, right? So I guess if we get news that Keldon Johnson's out, and I guess was that a midday thing? Let me see. SGA, Kevin Love remains probable. Blah 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 blah. No. All right. It would probably be irresponsible to say, I think Keldon Johnson's out. But I guess if I had to make lineups right now and leave and go to work or go chill, I'd probably make lineups anticipating that Keldon Johnson as a 10-point dog in the altitude is out. And if that happens, then Keita Bates-Diop, Devontae Graham, Sohan, Zach Collins, like they all look great individually. And irregardless of how big the spread is and implied blowouts, like the Spurs season is an implied blowout. So I'm just getting there liberally. Max 3 Spurs. Finish every sentence with an upper inflection like this. The best value in the prop market coming out of the All-Star break to bet the over with older players who were arrested that have good matchups. What are you saying? McCollum was wearing down for the break. He wasn't hitting threes. He's rested now. His prop too low at 2.5. All right, cool. How about Miles Turner points? I'm gonna be honest. I thought he was banned, but who got banned? I swear there was somebody that I thought was him got banned here. So anyway, I'm not gonna go too crazy with spinning the wheel on Spurs here. As far as analysis, we're all just we're taking chances here, and I think Devontae Graham is one of the guys I'll get to the most if we get definitive Keldon Johnson, or when we get definitive Keldon Johnson news. If Johnson is in, he's very attackable at that price point on both sites, but I do like Devontae quite a bit. And then Zach Collins and Sohan per minute, really productive. So simple attack there. On the Jazz side, THT has been a thorn in my side. But in this spot, life without Colin Sexton. We do have a tag on Olynyk, so let's see what that's about. He's questionable. Dunn took away from THT. Dude, I was like, I thought they had Akbaji above THT. You know, that I swear every slate when I want a big brain into fading THT, it just like burns me. And then when I do play him because he starts, it burns me. I'm just never gonna get the THT situation right. Utah's front court may be shorthanded Saturday with both Olynyk and Rudy Gay questionable. If both sit, Walker Kessler would likely see as many minutes as he can handle, while Damian Jones and Udoka Azubuike would be in line for additional playing time. Cool. So this 240 total game has pretty significant stuff to sit on all night, with Keldon Johnson and Kelly Olynyk news pending. But what we do know is that there's no Colin Sexton. So I think Jordan Clarkson we can get to with a little bit more confidence. Larry Markkinen at 8,600 on FanDuel. I mean, how do you not? And then THT is a little bit more reasonably priced today, so fading him feels better, right? It's much more scary at 3,800 or 4,300. So they're all there for me. Clarkson props though. What are we thinking? Let's go Utah. I'm broadcasting in my mom's backyard. That's why he has a winter hat on. You think my mom's backyard is Yankee Stadium? Is that what? I'm not sure if that's the insult that you think it is. Let's put Clarkson on the court. Let's go month of February. Uh, 19% assist rate. I was hoping for something better. I guess we take off Sexton too, though. His value as long as Sexton is out. I don't think value means what you think it means. Because that's like, you said the word value like 50 times today. And every time you mention it, it's completely subjective to your opinion and not to like actionable data. Clarkson has a 26% assist rate in this split without Sexton and Conley. I'm just in an assist mood. 5 assists on a 26% assist rate when your team's implied to score 120. Ay. I gotta get something on Clarkson. Gotta sweat something on Clarkson. I guess it would have been really nice to get that 4.5 line earlier. PRA? PNA? I guess he's not implied for... The actionable data is Horton Tucker has been significantly undervalued in every game he's played with Sexton out. No, he hasn't. He's been the highest player in DFS for like 3 weeks. What are you saying? Undervalued. 33.5. Little steam on the over. Not a ton. Is that linear to PrizePicks? Yeah, it is. So I guess fantasy points. We'll throw a blanket over everything, and maybe we fall into some steals. I'm thinking fantasy points for PrizePicks is where I'm on, because I got him at almost 41 fantasy points, and they got him at 36. So I do get like a 5-point gap. So I'd probably take that. The assist is nice. I'm in on that. We'll go Jordan Clarkson over 36 FPS or 5 assists on the list. You know what happens? Horton Tucker has been under 5K. Yes. That's why he hasn't been undervalued. What do you... Clarkson on board. You think so, Dino? This is a clown show. Gundacker is dumb. All right, that's the magic word. Get him out of here, lazy. I swear we banned him already. I'm not even like that, but he done. He out of here. Have fun. Kessler at 6,300. Like this game, we're loading up for DFS. That's without saying. I was just trying to find a few more prop leans here. If Olynyk was down, I don't really know how I would push that to benefit. Like obviously it would, but what do we lean on for Kessler rebounds? I guess it's fair. Kessler and the Spurs allow the most points in the paint, so maybe it's one of the better spots for Kessler to be more involved. But he's also a block machine. So let's see. For him, I would probably be interested in fantasy as well, because he could have a 3-4 block game, you know. +30 minutes his last 2 games. 7 blocks, 3 blocks. I think Kessler fantasy at 34.5. Even though I also have him at 34.5, that's, I guess we would solidify minutes here if Olynyk ends up not playing and Rudy Gay. So I would just be there on that. So I'll put that as a tier 3 as well. I think I might move Clarkson up to tier 2. I think we'll do that. And then we'll go Kessler. And this is more of a hunch play than anything because their projection is really close to mine. 34.5, right? Yeah. All right. All right, chat. You guys got anything else for me? Any questions, comments, concerns? You guys got some fire prop picks you want to throw at me? We'll look at them real quick. Got a couple minutes to get you out of here. And then I'll get into the rundfs.com VIP Discord. Maybe. It's been kind of quiet today. One of those days. Yo, 127 likes. Thank you so much. Yo, did we get to 94? What was it? 8,400? 9,400? We got to 84-14, bro. We got like 20 new subs today. That's love, man. Appreciate you guys. Let's get caught up. Sorry that we let that guy stay around too long. Usually if they don't, like, I'm okay with having hot takes. I have no problem with that at all. We keep Sean V around. When you cross the line, you start flaming people, that's when you gotta go. We all about good vibes and love, no egos, none of that stuff here. That guy was just, I don't feel like that dude is a real dude. I feel like he's a troll. And I swear we banned him already. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's hot takes, and then there's you just some mouth breathing toe sucker saying stuff. Like, there's no way that dude thinks some of the things that he typed. So I just think he was a troll. I'm sorry we let him stick around that long. Off Clarkson with the addition of Chris Dunn. Yo, Ali Alejandro, thank you so much for the sub. All right, let's go look at that minute rotation. Because Clarkson still got a good chunk of minutes, right? Like, I don't think that's 35 minutes, and Chris Dunn played 16 minutes, and every one of Chris Dunn minutes were opposite Jordan Clark. Well, okay, I correct that, except in the fourth quarter. So I don't think it's that big of a negative correlation as long as Colin Sexton is out, right? Because you could just say Chris Dunn's playing Colin Sexton's minutes, but he's really not. So I don't think it's that big of a negative here. Mitchell Robinson over 15.5 points. I don't know. I probably don't feel that comfortable about that. Oh, over 15.5 points in rebounds. Okay. Jokic over half a three. Those are obscure stuff, but I can certainly see it. I think with Mitch Rob, we probably feel better about his rebounds, and maybe the market is undervaluing his minutes, as what's his name would say. So 8 rebounds, 7 points, so that's 15. So you're paying for the hook. So maybe to lose the hook, what rebounds would be the? Let's see. Oh, I clicked points. I'm sorry. I meant to click rebounds. Should I go Mitch Rob over 1.5 blocks? Man. I don't know. Do you feel better about Bam or Kessler at 6,200 on DK? Trust Bam or go Kessler and spend? I probably go Kessler, and the caveat is that Kessler becomes even better if Olynyk is out, just because it stabilizes minutes. It doesn't necessarily move the needle much on me like for other things. I just think it stabilizes minutes. What am I looking for? Look for Mitchell Robinson. 8.5. There's team on the under. All right, I'd be okay with the Mitch Rob prop there, but there's not like a reason for me to be there specifically. You know what I mean? And then let's go back to the Spurs here. This is not fair because the Spurs are they're just not a real basketball team. But the thing that's got me on Kessler for fantasy is the block potential. What about blocks allowed? And then, like, if you lose Keldon Johnson, and I love Devontae, that's the homie, but he's like 4 feet tall. So it's even more. I'm sorry, Devontae. This could be a true like 5-block game for like Walker Kessler, and the team's implied, and it's a team that gives up the most points in the paint. Like, it's a really good spot for Kessler at 6,300. So I'd probably just be there. Which one do you like better, Wendell Carter Jr. and Malachi Branham and Tyrese Halliburton, or Jokic, Graham, and Isaac on FanDuel? Jonathan Isaac, I probably wouldn't want, because you have a glass ceiling in minutes there, right? So I probably go with the first and just let the seesaw be on the south side because of the minutes. Isaac is what, 15 minutes on a good day? 16? Yeah, I can't get behind that too much. He probably does produce extremely well per minute though, but I can't do it. So I would go Carter, Branham, and Halliburton for sure. Rozier steals always a lock. I can get down with that. Why did Tyrese Maxey play so much last game? He's just a minute guy. Some dank memes. Just ended up with Bolton in the lineup. Y'all, I appreciate everyone that's here right now. You guys are the best. I think we might just hit a... Oh, Mailman Mac. Thank you for the sub. I missed that. I think we probably just hit a season record for concurrence, man. I appreciate you guys. Had him banned before, but he had another account. Man, that's dedication to the bit. Good for him. Not even mad. Smart blocks and steals over 1.5. Yeah, I can get behind that. He could crash some lanes on some bounce passes. And if I would like 1.5 amazement. I think I would co-sign that. He's like I've seen the name before. I just whatever. Mouth breathers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that was toxic, but you know, I don't ever tilt. Took that Jokic 3-point part. All right, cool. Porzingis out, Gafford out. So that is tomorrow, right? JT Thor is starting. So this is information that we were waiting on because some sites had Kelly Oubre starting. So JT Thor is gonna start. What do we do with that? Is that fool's gold and value? Bare bones min? You probably have to play bare bones min price even in a bad matchup. I don't know if it gets too high owned, but it's good to know. So Oubre would still be off the bench, which makes me like the Rozier threes a little bit more, just for a little less overlap. I do think eventually, like, the rotation will just have a 3-guard set with Oubre, Melo, Rozier, and then Hayward and Williams in the front court. So I'm not like sold that JT Thor's locked in for 30 minutes or something like that. But PJ Washington does represent a significant chunk of minutes that needs to be replaced. So you have to get to some Thor. But it does make me feel better about getting behind some Rozier points and 3-point props because of at least starting with less overlap between the two, if that makes sense. 1 hour left. Yeah. Greg is on LBL. Let's go. Yeah, I gotta get you. Yeah, that'll start in a couple minutes, right? We'll get you guys out of here. 200 likes. That would just be crazy. I don't think we've had 200 likes ever on a video. Enough value to get Ja and Jokic for JT Thor. I don't know what's a reasonable projection for Thor. I think you just play him because of the what's I almost keep using the word value because of what's his name, but what's the opportunity cost? How about that for 3K? But I don't know what's a reasonable expectation for Thor. Let's go Charlotte, because one, it's already like not a great matchup front court wise, and Thor in and of himself this season, and you gotta assume he's the 5th option here, right? He's a 0.6 fantasy point per minute producer. Well, I guess that's in the month of February. Let's go for the full season. But like this wouldn't be 1-to-1 because of many of his minutes either being in garbage time or just not on the court with the usage guys. But I guess it looks like at best he's a little over half a point per minute, 0.6. So 0.6. If you gave him what? 30 minutes, that would get you close to 20 fantasy points. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess we'll see what the ownership comes with. But at the same time, it's a 6-game slate. He's bare bones min price as a starter. So I feel like Kevin Love is close enough in a better spot that I just will get to Kevin Love. So maybe we hope JT Thor is bad chalk, but I don't know. The word value is banned in chat now. Yeah. What's Josh Hart RA number? It's not. There is no number. Thor would see garbage time too. Yeah, but are we expecting, like, we can't do that. But even in garbage time, like, his 0.6 point per minute is like, that's from garbage time. You know what I'm saying? It's only a 6-point spread. He hit on a back-to-back, so I'm not bracing for that, all that, you know? Great honor, great respect. I do appreciate you guys. Hey, I'll tell you what, I am going to go get some work done for the VIP crew. I definitely appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day on a lazy Saturday afternoon. We'll be back Monday with a live stream. If you guys aren't in the Discord, you should go check out Live Before Lock over on the Stochastic channel as more news begins to drop. Tomorrow, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 4-game main slate. They might lock it earlier, 5-game. We got NASCAR tomorrow, so still some basketball tomorrow, but won't have any live content here on this channel. But we will be back Monday. Oh, only a 4-game slate on Monday, but we will be back. So I certainly appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Hit that thumbs up, hit that sub button. I say it every day if you're new to the channel. Today, tell someone you love them. You really just don't know. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.